Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Bush League Geek. We're here again talking about what happened this past week, and we've actually got some interesting things. We're going to start out with the Deadpool trailer, which is probably the biggest thing, I think, or one of the biggest things that everybody was waiting on. I know the internet was flipping their shit about it. Did it live up to its hype? Did the trailer to the trailer make it better?
The trailer to the trailer to the trailer?
Yeah.
That trailer?
That trailer.
Trailerception.
Trailerception. Boom. Yeah, at first, I saw Deadpool trailer and I was like, oh yeah, I'm so excited, right? And I watch it, I'm like, 40 seconds, what's this? I was like, that's not good enough. And then, it was perfect. It's typical Deadpool, I believe. And then the next day, of course, like everybody else, I was watching Fox's YouTube all day just trying to figure out when's this damn thing getting released. And finally it came out, and yeah, I loved it, man. It was everything I thought it was going to be. I saw the leaked Comic-Con trailer. It was the same one, basically, but they took out a few scenes because I think it wasn't really directed to a general audience, some of the stuff that they took out, but it was perfect, man. And I'm really excited to see the movie.
I'm not a Conan fan, but I legit did watch Conan waiting for the trailer, and it was actually kind of cool. Like, Ryan Reynolds was a really funny dude. Like, they had like a good little back and forth going on and everything. And
is Ryan Reynolds funny? I'm glad it's funny.
I can't. Really...
I bet it would be good in like a role like Deadpool.
Yeah, I think he'd be perfect for
I think you need to go home.
I can't picture anyone else being Deadpool but him. Ever since the Wolverine origin film.
Yeah, now.
But that's another thing too. Like he was like he did mention something, I think, in the Conan. He was like he's like, yeah, one movie messed it up where they sewed my fucking mouth shut, and of course they bleeped it or whatever.
Yeah.
And even in the trailer, I thought it was hilarious when he was like, yeah, hey, don't make this green or animated.
Yeah.
Like, he was like picking fun at that stuff. I find it very...
Well, I like the scenes with him and T.J. Miller where they're just talking about his face.
T.J. Miller
You look like Freddy Krueger's face fucked the top of Utah.
Yeah.
It's like you look like an avocado ate an older avocado. Like a testicle with teeth.
T.J. Miller's hilarious.
I hope that scene goes for at least like a minute. I think that
would be like a post-credit thing.
Yeah,
come back and you know how you know you're gay. Like
I know. I was about to say liken it to 40-Year-Old Virgin where they're doing the you're gay. Yeah, that's.
I think my favorite was whenever he's talking shit with the old lady. It's like, it smells like old lady pants in here. Well, you sound like you got a dick in your mouth. Yeah. So there was that. Anybody got anything to add on to that? Anybody excited for the movie?
Yeah.
I'm excited that they're doing it in true Deadpool fashion, in the sense that they're acknowledging the previous use of Deadpool. And like you said, how they sewed his fucking mouth shut. And the trailer to the trailer actually saying that.
Well, let's talk about, because Fox is doing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fox just put out another movie.
Do you want to call it that? Let's call it a documentary on how not to make a movie.
Well, with that being out, and we're going to dip into that, are you afraid that they're going to mess up Deadpool?
Well, no. The reason I feel like they're not going to mess up Deadpool is because they made this, and as far as I know, it's rated R, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, according to the Red Band trailer. So, with Deadpool, I feel like they're doing it right. They've got the right actor for it. They got the actor they originally cast for the character. They didn't say, oops, our bad, let's recast that. So they're doing good with that. They're doing the acknowledgement. They're breaking the fourth wall. They're doing everything they should do with Deadpool. They're literally making him the mark with the mouth.
They're not trying to change the story or origin or anything like that.
Right.
And that's one of the big things that with Fantastic Four, a lot of people didn't know what kind of origin it was supposed to be. But later on, it was supposed to be like the ultimate Fantastic Four storyline.
I don't care what storyline they were going for, they missed it. So, I actually went and saw Fantastic Four this morning just because I was like, it can't be that bad. It can't be 9% Rotten Tomatoes bad. Because that's huge. That's significant. You know, like my all-time...
It was worse than Batman and Robin. It got ranked worse than Batman and Robin.
It might as well have had nipples. So, the problem with the Fantastic Four movie, was continuity of anything. There was... It almost seems like if you were to take out the fact that they were the Fantastic Four, it might have been a cool science project movie. The problem is, there was no continuity on the science of it. There was a lot of pseudoscience, a lot of made-up bullshit, and then there was blatant ignorance of any science in it in certain scenes where you were just like, they're fucking with us now, right? Because
this isn't real.
right, I mean they basically make it out like they're this government funded group of kids that are figuring out interdimensional travel. With no great hand over them guiding them, or they're basically just set free with whatever amount of money they need to build this.
Well, are they smart, or are they just random kids
Yeah,
they
they're
put
like
together?
geniuses.
They literally find Reed at a science fair. They just happen to see his project at a science fair and go, "Oh, you're trying to do interdimensional travel too, huh? Well, we've done that, but you figured out how to bring things back. Want to join us? You 17-year-old genius out of nowhere, and you've got this, founded friendship from 7 years ago, whatever, with Ben Grimm. Okay, we got that out of the way. Oh, by the way, my daughter is Sue Storm, and my son is Johnny Storm. Hold on, let's throw him in here real quick. Oh, he's a badass with a 1990 MR2. It's street racing. That's his thing.
Cliche.
Oh, just
Cliche.
real quick though, but in the movie, and I haven't seen it, but from the trailer, one's white and one's
They're
black.
adopted, bro.
Okay.
I knew this was coming.
Okay, right. Here's so for everybody that's like, why is Johnny Storm black? So Sue,
It's a legit question.
I'm starting to answer your question before you even asked it.
Sue was
You
adopted.
should have.
Sue was adopted.
She just came out.
And so she's apparently genius level, and she's working on this project of interdimensional travel already. And then they had this awkward relationship between her and Victor Doom. So it's like they have some pre-existing relationship between the two of them, and then of course Reed comes in, so Doom is already kind of cautious of Reed, so that's how they start off there. It's basically like a teen angst movie. It reminds me of if the guy that wrote Twilight was like, "Hey, I've heard about these Fantastic Four kids. I'd like to write my own version of it. I've done these Twilight movies. I hope you like it."
Do they sparkle?
They might as well.
Well,
you know
there's
what it makes me think of when I watch the movie? You've played the game Telephone, right?
Yeah.
Where like you've got, say, 10 people in a room, and the first person tells a story, and then they whisper it to the person next to them, and the story eventually kind of takes its own twists until you get to the other end. They have the basic layout of what the Fantastic Four are supposed to be, but they don't even really get their powers right. According to the movie, they can control their powers because of the suits that they're given by the government.
So okay.
Right. It's not like he's this human torch that can throw balls of flames and fly and shit.
Oh, it's the suit.
They're basically saying the suit allows him to control it to that extent. And the same thing with Sue's suit that she wears 24/7 apparently with gloves. That she used, it helps her, form the force fields from her invisibility, this and that, and God, it's so annoying.
There's a couple things
So I have a
heard
question.
about it that I just want to verify with you. Well, I saw that, I guess, basically Mr. Doom's power, Dr. Doom's powers are like just not explained at all.
They're not explained one bit.
He can like just do like anything.
So what they say is that the other dimension that they go to, they just call Planet Zero.
Okay.
So they basically They have no fucking clue what this thing is.
Mm-hmm.
But it has this raw energy source that consumes Doom. And they leave him there. And they cut to like a year later and they go back. The government has taken over this project where they come up with interdimensional travel. So he's stuck on this planet for a year.
Well, no wonder he's pissed off.
Well, the thing is, they're in these like makeshift space suits, right? That Sue apparently built from scratch with a Dremel. So literally, it has a scene where she throws some sparks with a Dremel and then puts a face mask on this thing.
Did they have a montage?
Oh, they might as well have. They should have done it like Rocky.
Would it made the movie better if they would have had him on?
Mate, you know, if they had gone campy with it and done something like, God, I don't know, what was... If they had a laser raptor, I'd have felt better about it. But...
Sharks with freaking laser beams.
In space.
In space. We're not going to talk about it.
If Hitler had shown up in this movie, it might have made it better.
Good God.
All right, and there's one more thing I read because I didn't want to go too spoiler.
There's nothing to spoil in this one.
But I heard that when it comes to the thing, it's clobbering Tom. Classic phrase that he's always had was it comes from his brother because his brother used to beat him or something when he was a kid. Is that true?
Yeah, kind of.
Like, why would you do that
I don't
to
know.
that character?
The same reason they give him pants, I guess. Because it's just fucking a naked rock the entire movie. I guess they're just like, you know what, a big walking rock's not going to have a dick, right?
So it's like a strain, man. It just fell off
right.
in the toilet. Yeah.
Right. But you know, I mean,
I hate to say
I guess it fits because we're in a gender neutral time where they're not going to have.
But you know what that reminds me of? Mallrats. Remember whenever he got to meet Stan Lee and like his only questions were like, is the rocks thing actually like a rock? And
right.
This Fantastic Four thing, can it stretch like his and shit like that? Like
answered. It's answered in this movie. He has no fucking dick.
See, that actually upsets me that you said that their powers come from their suits because.
Well, okay, the powers come from this radiation
yeah.
from the other dimension,
That
but they can't really control it until
suit.
The government provides them with these suits. It's not like Reed came up with special suits for them.
Can you please explain to me Reed Richards' power, by the way? Cause
they don't explain it.
Because when I heard what they were doing with it, I had trouble like figuring out the science in my head.
They keep talking online. You read all this shit about how he can control time and space.
Yeah, Chris
is going to give us the science.
No, they don't really cover that. They make it seem in the movie like he's stretched out and he can't do shit about it until he builds his own suit to contain himself, and Doom apparently like destroys that suit. But in that year, he had, I guess Reed had no control over it until Doom destroyed that suit. And then all of a sudden, by sheer power of will,
I can control it.
I can control it. Well, okay, not only that, but let's just say in Doom, they give Doom the most mystical powers ever and explain none of them, and he can literally kill people with his mind in an instant. But he doesn't bother using that power on any of the Fantastic Four. He just gets in a fist fight with Reed Richards. The weakest one of them all, the guy who can stretch himself.
Right.
But he lets him get in a fist fight with him instead of just looking at him and go, "You're evaporated, see ya."
But I heard that he doesn't actually stretch, he just manipulates time and space.
I know you heard that. But I've seen the movie, and he stretches. I don't care if he manipulates time and space, he stretches. So whether he manipulates time and space or not, it doesn't matter. He's just stretching himself. And what he's doing with that ability, he's reaching for things from farther away.
Thank you.
That's it.
Powers always suck, man.
So are we going to assume that the Fantastic Four has now become the new Hulk? Where they're going to do 4 different ones with 8 different characters?
The problem with the Fantastic Four is they literally went to the very edge of their contract date. I think they had 7 years from the time the last one was released to start production on one, and they literally waited till the last minute to say, "Oh, we're starting production." So they got a script, a director, the cast, whatever. So, what is it? Josh Trank, the director of this thing?
Yeah, he also did Chronicle.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed Chronicle.
Yeah, Chronicle's good.
And I personally think Michael B. Jordan did an awesome movie. Did an awesome time. The thing he does for a living. What's he do? Oh, he acts. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, words.
Speak.
Anyways, so, everybody was up in arms about Michael B. Jordan not being a good Johnny Storm. I thought he did awesome. But he was not standalone. He was in this piece of shit. So, Josh Trank has basically come out and posted on Twitter, this isn't the movie that I wanted. They didn't let me do what I want. But then, of course, he took that down. And,
oh God, that's never good.
Right.
Like,
and then, and of course, the sure thing was the embargo they put out. What was it? 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the movie actually came out. Well,
that was the worst thing you could do.
The worst thing
Fox
you could do.
Screwed up entirely with the way they handled all that.
Even if the movie reviews were going to be bad, I feel like they made them worse for themselves by saying you are not allowed to review this movie until the day before it comes out. And then I think you just sent a bunch of angry reviewers in to watch a movie that they were already pissed off about.
Yeah. Because I think they probably would have done better. I mean, like,
Right.
people like us who were on the fence, the second I saw that, I was like, man, I don't know. Because I wanted to go see it opening weekend.
Right.
You know, and
it's like, hey, here have
like
a piece of cake. You can't spit it out, but here's a piece of cake.
But see, what that says is, like, Fox says, okay, we're going to embargo these
Seems
reviews. That's basically saying we don't believe in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
This is a movie, this is the epitome of a movie that was made because they have the rights and they want to retain the rights. That's it. There is nothing about this movie that's for the fans. There's nothing about this movie that is for the studio. I don't know why they made this movie other than to retain the rights.
Does it play to the children?
They might as well just give it up.
Oh, that was another thing I was going to bring up. This movie has no place. I don't even know that it has a genre. It's not a true action movie. It's not a drama. It tries to be both. It's not a horror film, but it has some horrific things in it. It's definitely not a kids movie like the Marvel movies. What are they all, PG-13? You can actually take kids to those.
Like
though.
you can go to Guardian. Like I took my son to Guardians of the Galaxy. Couldn't take him to
There may
Fantastic
be
Four.
things that are not age appropriate for kids under 13 in the Marvel movies, but for the most part, you can take any child above the age of like 3, and they'll freaking love a Marvel movie. The problem with this movie is they go so deep and dark into the powers that it's like they don't have powers, they have disabilities that they learn to live with. I think Michael B. Jordan said that in an interview. He actually said it's about a group of kids that go to this planet, they get these disabilities and they learn to live with them. What? These are superheroes, these are superpowers. But that's how they treat it in the movie. It's like, kind of like, even in the previous versions of the Fantastic Four, they talk about how Grimm is all about, you know, I'm a big rock creature, my life is over, I want something to fix this. Well, in this one, they're all like that. It's all just doom and gloom. Right. It's like, well, now I have to wear a helmet because I can't feed myself without what is it? Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Like they're Steve Martin's character, not mother, stabbing himself in the eye with a fork.
And actually, it's actually hurt Miles Teller's movie career.
Which he
got fired in a movie that he was supposed to be in because he wasn't creatively right for the role anymore.
Miles Teller, he's Reed, right?
Reed,
yeah.
And he's an awesome actor.
Yeah, he came on strong.
He's doing. I think he'll be okay though, because I mean, what's that movie he was just in
Where he was a drummer.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I forgot, but
Well, not only that, he was
rewarded.
in Insurgent and stuff too.
I haven't seen that.
Divergence or
Oh, that's right. He was like one of the bad guys.
I forgot.
Yeah.
He was in that.
bad guy, kind of good guy.
I think the guy who plays
He was the guy that turned.
Storm is going to be okay because he has Creed coming out, and I don't think.
Oh yeah,
Creed's gonna
Michael B. Jordan's
Yeah.
excellent. Like
I think he'll be fine.
Man. He's
Kate
a
Mara,
great
I haven't
actor.
really seen her in anything other than House of Cards.
Yeah,
and
but
then
I mean,
this-
I hate to say this. I mean, unlike the dudes, Kate Mara can just do a wet T-shirt shoot of some kind and be right back on top.
That's sexist.
I don't give a fuck.
Oh, now I will say...
Which dude in here would be like, oh, Kate Mara's doing a photo shoot? I don't want to see that.
I mean, just watch House of Cards, bro. Good.
So,
much. Yeah.
Kate Mara I thought she did well with what she had, but I think I saw an interview where she had mentioned wanting to read the comics, and she was encouraged not to because it had nothing to do with them. It's true. So, I'm watching this movie, and one of the government guys that's like trying to control them and whatever else, I guess one of his things is chewing gum. But it annoyed the shit out of me because it was like they kept showing him chewing gum blatantly, like even giving giving a speech in front of like generals. He's sitting there smacking on gum, and I'm like, "What's the deal?" I felt like Seinfeld. I want to be like, "What's the deal with the gum?"
That was probably going to be like their funny little thing too, like
But
in
then
Ocean's 11, like how Brad Pitt's like always eating.
But then they kill the dude, and there's no explanation. And that's why I say this movie has no place, because when Doom comes back to Earth.
Are you straight spoiler and everything?
Spoiler alert! I would call this a spoiler alert, but nobody's going to see this. You're welcome. So, Doom comes back to Earth and can literally explode people's heads with his mind, which is why I say it doesn't make any sense that Reed Richards can punch him from farther away. So,
oh wait, can you read my mind from here?
right. So Doom just comes back and just explodes this dude's head in his suit. So it's just blood everywhere. And then he's walking through the halls, and he's doing it to everybody that's trying to approach him and stop. And he just, boom, your head's exploded. Boom, your head's exploded. I'm like, so it's not for kids. It's not for kids at all.
Oh, so it shows a graphic.
I wouldn't say that it's graphic, but it's definitely bloody.
It's not like Kingsman where they do like a crazy looking fireworks smoke show.
Oh yeah, it's not cheesy like that.
Yeah.
It's actually like their head exploding. It's like.
And then let me guess, Reed Richards comes up and he's like, "Let's do this,
Right.
hand style." All right.
I think you're a badass with your mom powers.
Let's
go
fight as
fisticuffs.
honorable people.
Let's go with fisticuffs and see what happens.
You know, and that really
what
that's
kid-
really interesting to me too, because you know, I'd heard that they had already announced like doing a sequel to this movie, and supposedly
It's gonna be
it was
canceled.
supposed to. Yeah, it's going to get canceled now. They're only like $26 million for an opening weekend. The last one, Rise of the Silver Surfer, did $56 million its opening weekend. And they
and that's
also
probably
they
not even
had
accounting for
plans.
inflation.
Yeah, yeah, and they had plans to tie the X-Men into the same universe, and I think even Brett Ratner had said, like, hinted towards that. So
Yeah.
I'm curious what they're going to do now. I hope they just give it back to Marvel.
Oh,
none
I've
of
heard
us-
they've cut that completely.
Yeah, I hope they need to give that back to Marvel.
So none of us
Like,
have
see
seen
what
Pixels.
happens.
Do you think?
Shit. That
Yeah,
was
okay,
screwed
now
forever.
let me say that's one of
Because
the
we talked about the rant that the dude let out for Pixels.
that's one of the reasons I went and saw this, because the reviews have said this made Pixels look good, and I'm like, wow, I haven't heard a single good thing about Pixels. I've got to go see how bad this is, because my level of bad, like my bar, is the Phantom.
Yeah, we-
Billy Zane in the Phantom.
We talked about
That
that.
is my
Phantom, yo.
That is no, not that Phantom. We can talk about Ben Affleck in a
Ben
minute.
Affleck is a Phantom. Yeah. Yeah, we'll
No, he was,
He was
the
the
bomb,
bomb.
and Phantoms.
the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
So, like, that's my
Oh,
bar
that's
for
what I'm saying
bad. But that's just because it's a bad movie. Like, it was just a bad movie.
Okay,
bad
so hold
acting,
on.
bad
Do
everything.
you now have a new bar?
This might be my new bar simply because it has everything a good movie should have. It has good actors. These are good actors.
Great cast.
It reminds me of Mark Wahlberg's appearance in the last Transformers movie. Because Mark Wahlberg, I personally think Mark Wahlberg is an awesome actor.
Mhm.
He has really good roles. He's done some really good things as far as acting goes, roles, movies, whatever. I enjoy most of his movies. Transformers was bad, but it was written bad, and it wasn't supposed to have anything for him to be good with. And I feel like that's what this was. I feel like they just had a pile of shit to work with, and they went, well, let's see what we can do.
Maybe we should write a Fantastic Four movie. I think we could do a better job. Apparently,
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn.
I totally do it.
We couldn't do worse.
Yeah.
I mean, we could not even CG that shit. We could tape rocks to cliff. It's just can't be better with that.
Oh, we should have had him here today. Goodness. Yeah, so let's see what else happened this week. This week with
The screening for Batman and Superman. We're talking about Ben
Are
Affleck.
we gonna do this?
should we wait
Come
on
Chris.
that?
Chris, you
No,
want-
we're talking about movies. Let's
Chris,
roll with
Should
it.
we go with
Yes.
movies? Well, before we get into that, there has been seen. Bill Murray's been seen in Boston where they're shooting the all-female cast of
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Well, the female
So
cast is supposed to be their children, right? Like it's supposed to be the daughters
I
of the
don't know.
Ghostbusters.
I haven't read it.
I honestly don't know enough about the backstory.
So I thought that was the whole tie-in to it. I thought they were like they all had daughters and this and that.
The only thing is, like, why didn't they shoot it in New York? Why Boston?
Is that what's bothering you about it?
Possibly.
because they almost tore up New York last time. And they were
Probably,
just
yeah.
like, you can't
I
come
feel
back.
bad. Yeah, like I feel bad for New York in the sense of a movie scene.
It's always getting destroyed.
Like New York's just steadily getting fucked up. So there's that, and then there was another movie thing we were going to talk about too, wasn't there? Or was it just the Batman? Should we just go right into the Batman? Go ahead, Chris, while we're looking up some stuff.
First of all, I'm super pumped about Batman vs Superman. I can't wait for it. There's a lot of theories going on about it, which is the main reason why I'm so excited to talk about it and want to talk about it. Batman vs Superman. Batman comes out of retirement, and after Superman destroys Metropolis and destroys one of his towers, which everyone sees in the trailer. So much is... Man, there's so many things in the trailer that links to other stuff. For instance, the Robin suit being painted on, saying the joke's on you, Batman, ha ha ha. And then, of course, his letter that he gets saying that he let his family die. And this is the main reason why I'm so excited for it, because even though Batman vs. Superman is the main part of the film, I think the thing that's going to make it great is all the Easter eggs for other stuff in the universe. And
Well, we talked about that on a previous podcast, but the big thing this week was that there was a screening of it.
Yes, and that the thing is that they said that they are going to focus on Batman being the main face of the DC cinematic universe again. Me, personally, I don't want there to be 3 more Batman films. All I want is Ben Affleck's film that he's going to direct and be in himself for Batman. I just want that to be a very dark prequel to BVS. Because from those Easter eggs, from what I've seen, I want to know why and who has sent him that letter. Because for me, personally, I think it's Jason Todd. And another conspiracy that I have is that the Joker in Suicide Squad links to Batman's film. His own film that he's doing it.
Do you not think they'll answer that in Batman vs. Superman, though? You think they're just showing that for the trailer to tease everybody?
I think it's going to be in there, but I don't... I mean, they'll hint towards it, but I don't think he actually shows up. I mean, I don't really know.
Just seems like a lot to speculate really early.
It really is, but after reading the theory about how Joker might not be Joker in Suicide Squad, and maybe the Joker in Suicide Squad is Jason Todd, I can't help but agree with that because he has the J the same way Joker did to Jason Todd when he was torturing him.
Yeah, but I didn't think they were going to tie the Suicide Squad in with Batman vs. Superman.
Well, they are.
Yeah, they're
apparently.
linking everything
Okay.
together.
There's a Suicide Squad. Part of the trailer that shows
Here's
him on top of
here's
car.
the deal with that.
Yeah, but is that bad?
Here's the deal, and this has been officially announced. The Suicide Squad, Batman is one that caught all of them and put them behind bars. So I think the beginning, if you watch the trailer, you know they have Batman on top of Joker's car. I think, just speculation, I'm thinking that's the beginning of the film.
Probably.
And, you know, we're going to go back into, you know, how these people came to be and all that stuff like that. But what you were saying, earlier this week, they had a screening for the WB executives to show them Batman versus Superman. And apparently, it was so good that all the executives gave, you know, Ben Affleck's performance and director Zack Snyder standing ovation. And what they did basically was greenlight Ben Affleck to have a trilogy, which is going to span over the next 10 years, but that's also in addition to Justice League and Suicide Squad. That's already been announced.
I just don't... To me, like, I feel like that's going to be too long, and it's going to stretch out the films that are already going to come out.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like the Marvel Cinematic
And,
Universe. Taking forever.
It's just... I feel like DC's just now trying to catch up to Marvel when it comes to films, especially with Suicide Squad and BVS coming out next year. And I want it to be where there's a DC film almost every year, at least every other year, instead of it being 4 or 5 years apart.
I think that's what they're doing, though, because basically they're saying now Batman's going to be at the center of this DC cinematic universe, kind of like how Iron Man was for Marvel. and they are going to kick that stuff out like that. You know, it's good. I think it's going to be good, man. I mean, it's going to be.
It's taken them a little while to get their feet off the ground because
but
I mean, if they were in a hurry, they would have put the movie out already. Because I mean, they've been talking about Batman vs Superman for what, 3 years now?
Yeah, actually, wasn't it supposed to come out this year? And
Right.
then I think they pushed
originally.
it back to work.
I just think they
work on it.
realize. I think they realize what kind of position they're in versus the Marvel movies, and they know if they put out a piece of shit.
Well, I'll tell you, I think they're going headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
So far, I mean, from what I've seen, and the director of Suicide Squad, he made a point at the Comic-Con panel. He said, you know, Marvel's got all these superhero films and all that, but he was like, you know, it's time to get rid of the good and bring in some of the bad. He was like, Marvel's. He didn't want to start this East Coast West Coast feud thing, this beef, but basically
somebody
he
will
was saying,
die and Suge Knight will
Marvel
Suge Knight will end up in jail.
Marvel has good heroes, but
There's no
and I
consequences.
agree, there is no consequences, but I do agree they do kind of lack in the villain department. And they were like, this is the movie people want to see. They want to see these villains. And honestly, I agree, because I am excited to see the villains in the DC universe.
Well, we keep talking about like Ben Affleck this and Ben Affleck that, and you know, Batman and Ben Affleck. Is Henry Cavill? Is he kind of getting put on the?
Well, see,
Is he kind of getting forgot about because of all this other stuff, and he's already done the Superman?
Well, that was going to be my main question for Cody. Is that, you know, Captain America: Winter Soldier, that was to me a really good film because it actually made Captain America realize the hero that he needs to be. And I feel like in Batman vs Superman, even though there's a feud, I feel like this will be the time where Superman realizes what he needs to become around the end of it when the Justice League whole thing starts. And I'm hoping, because in Man of Steel, General Zod was his first villain, so he's still very inexperienced. And I'm hoping Batman makes him feel like just a regular dude with ridiculous amount of power, and just makes him realize what he needs to become, and that's when he becomes the leader.
Well, yeah, I think the purpose behind it is because, I mean, even like in the comics, it's kind of like Superman's this god amongst men. He's like this standalone hero, and in his head, he can save everything, you know. And I think during this movie, what he's gonna learn is that, you know, even though he's as powerful as he is, he's gonna need help. Like, he can't do everything on his own, you know. So.
I like the line from the trailer. His mom was like, "You don't owe
the people anything." Yeah.
Well,
but what I'm saying, like, what the question I asked was kind of different than what you said, though. Like, is Henry Cavill himself, is he getting not forgot about, but
no, they got Lex Luthor.
Like overshadowed.
is it all about Ben Affleck, basically?
It can't be. Lex Luthor has never been Batman's enemy.
Yeah.
So, with Lex Luthor seemingly being the main bad guy in this movie, there's going to be a lot of Superman in there. Has to be.
Oh yeah.
I mean, sure, they can make Batman a staple of the DC universe, which he is, because more people associate with Batman because he's just this regular guy. He's just friggin' rich. Anyways,
that's another thing I'm excited about. It's a young Superman and a young Lex Luthor with an older Batman. I think that timeline difference is very interesting.
Right.
Yeah, and apparently I think Lex Luthor is kind of going to be like, I think what LexCorp is to that universe is kind of like what Google or like Facebook is to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Evil Corp.
Or Evil Corp. Yeah.
Evil Corp.
Well, no,
Evil
like,
Corp.
it's, you know, it's very interesting to see because, you know, the one trailer they released, you know, they didn't show anything. They didn't show Jason Momoa at all. You know,
Yeah.
They barely showed Wonder Woman.
Right.
You know, suppose there are some people
They
that
didn't show
are.
any of Aquaman.
You know
or
what?
Flash.
But
That's what I just
I
said.
wanna talk
And that's
about
what
that.
there was. Hold on, there was a.
Am I
see,
the
thank
only
you.
one? You know that scene in the Batman versus Superman trailer?
They're saying that there's a possibility that you see Flash, but it's
Yeah, no, you don't.
well.
I know they say that. If you slow some
Hey,
part of it down
We've been
ridiculously...
speculating shit this whole podcast. We can speculate that there's going to be.
I bet he ran by so fast we didn't even see him.
That's what it
He's
was.
just going to be in the credits.
I bet he runs at like 120
But I
frames per
think,
second.
like,
It was only being filmed at 60, so he didn't get in the
I haven't
picture.
seen anybody say anything about this, but to me, it looks like we do see Aquaman. Like when they show that little kid in the ocean, and he's reaching down for something. To me, that looks like a man with long hair. If you watch the trailer again, just pay attention to it.
I'll
I'll pull it up while
I'll
while
rewatch
we
the
keep
trailer after
talking.
this is over with. But we'll move on from this. You know what? Speaking of Evil Corp and everything,
Oh,
Who's been watching
Ro-
Mr. Robot?
Mr. Robot. Guys, if y'all are listening to us right now, if y'all don't take anything we say from this, this one thing, Mr. Robot, that show is changing the game.
I gotta tell you, that show is changing.
That's
my
the
favorite
game.
new show in years. Like it's really
But
good.
This
it is
episode-
also, not only is it one of the best shows I've ever seen so far, and it's only 7 episodes deep, but it's also made me hate Hulu.
Yep.
The joke, the joke behind that is that to catch up on Hulu, or to catch up on the series on Hulu, you have to watch it on the computer, and you have to put in your provider.
Yeah, you have to
Provider
log in
code.
through
So
your
if you
provider.
don't, if you don't
code.
have cable, you can't watch it.
So then Hulu basically means nothing.
Which is what
You know what,
I
let
don't
me-
understand that because I thought USA was free, isn't it? Isn't it?
Well, on USA, you can go on their site, and it says you can watch it.
Well, that's kind of like ABC, NBC, CBS. They all require codes to watch shows on their pages now. Like, you used to be able to go to the show's page and watch last week's episode. You know, they post it 2 or 3 days later because they want you to watch it when it airs, or they want you to pay for it on, like, iTunes or something. And then they would just post it on their page maybe a week later. But now, you can't even get that without your cable provider's code.
But I thought that was the whole point of. You know what? Let's rant about Hulu real quick, because thanks to you guys said watch The Arrow. I'm just now caught up to season 3, which is where it is right now. Right, and then Flash started the first season this season, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm trying to catch up and be on the same page with you guys, so I can be in all the chats and the cool talk and all that other stuff.
Cool talk.
Cool talk.
You're getting there.
Okay.
You're getting there.
Anime's still going to go over my head, but y'all got that covered. But no, Arrow's a great show, everything like that. So I go on Hulu to try to catch up. It shows from like episode 7 on.
Right.
Hulu is supposed to take the place of cable, I thought, isn't it?
So
Isn't that their big
Hulu
thing?
started off. They always had the free service, and they always showed like the last 5 episodes that were aired. And then it went to a paid service, and you could see like the previous episodes before those 5 episodes. Well, then it got to where you had to pay just to see those 5 episodes, and then not only did you have to pay to see those 5 episodes, but then you got ads on top of that. And now it's getting to the point where even the paid service doesn't get you those 5 episodes because now you have to have your cable provider's number. So what the hell am I paying for?
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
Honestly, if I wasn't using someone's Hulu, I wouldn't pay for it.
Do you know what Hulu's becoming? It's becoming what cable originally did. Cable originally came out because you wanted to be able to pay to not have to get so many advertisements. Well, now cable is the advertisement,
Yeah.
and people started paying for online streaming to get away from that. And now you get the ads, and now you can't even get that. Ah!
Who's the biggest disappointment ever for me? I love the stuff it's got on there, but yeah, that whole ad thing, it baffles my mind.
Well, the thing
I
that
don't
kills
know
me,
why
like I
paid
said,
for it.
I mean, it's in the current season. Like, I wanted to watch Gotham. Gotham's about to start season 2. And I wanted to kind of catch up with it. And Gotham, you can't even watch like the last, I think it's like the last 10 episodes, or the last 10 episodes, I think, on Gotham season 1. So if I tried to watch it and catch up to season 2, I can't. Like, I don't, that's, anyway, I don't go on about that. But,
You don't know nothing about that.
yeah, let's go to,
So Mr. Robot, everybody watch that.
Mr. Okay, so this
If you
episode
can.
was a slowdown episode. Just to let you know,
All right.
because where are you at right now?
I'm on episode 4.
What's episode 4? I forgot it.
And I can already say after 3 episodes. Well, okay, after the first episode, I was like, new favorite show.
Well, let me tell you, and I don't know, I might be
I
kind
want
of
that
easy to
mask.
please.
I want that mask.
I might be kind of easy to please in certain ways. But any show where you like effectively like break the fourth wall and talk to me while I'm watching it, it's kind of, I don't know, man.
Through your
That
imaginary
draws,
friends.
it draws
No,
me in.
no.
And the
Have
way
you not noticed, like-
they do it is just so.
Have you not
awesome
noticed?
like
Like, where did you watch it on?
Downstairs.
Did you watch it on like your cable box, like on demand or whatever, or did you watch it on Hulu?
I
Does this matter?
find things to
Oh,
watch.
okay. So on USA.
I was walking down the street and I found a USB drive, and it had Mr. Robot on it. So
that's cool. You're lucky because
What's the name Brett?
It was
watch
the
it.
USB culture.
I watch it on USA. I record it, then I watch it, and I'll be going through and I'll be fast forwarding through some commercials, and they bust a commercial in on you for Evil Corp.
Yeah, they'll have fake commercials.
They'll have
for
fake
Evil
Corp commercials,
and then Mr. Robot, of course,
and Mr. Robot will pop up and then talk or whatever, and it'll shoot back to the commercial.
Now, I think it's clever that no one in the show is actually saying Evil Corp. But if you really pay attention to the first episode, he says specifically that he has rewritten the code in his head to replace E Corp with Evil Corp.
And so
from
we
that
hear it
point
that
on,
way.
we hear it as Evil
Love
Corp.
it,
And
man.
if you don't pay attention to the show, you don't catch that. Because everyone calls it Evil Corp. Even the people that work for them.
Yeah.
And it's not that they're calling it that. You're just hearing
I'm
it.
trying to figure out because the weird dude, the weird executive dude.
Oh,
Especially after this last, we're not going to spoil this.
The highly ambitious.
Yeah, the really excited dude.
Ambitious, promiscuous. What?
Just wait, no, bro. Just wait. Just wait.
What's up with his wife?
Oh no, she's like.
They need to explain that a little better.
I don't know. She's like. I don't know if you ever watch House of Cards, but she's like Claire Underwood. Kind
I
of
have
to
not.
Me. Like the way she acts. Like it's.
But I don't. They're doing. It's almost like now they're doing two different stories.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
They're doing Randy Malkins. I think is what his name.
I think that's his name.
Yeah, they're doing his story.
They are doing the stories from the different agendas of the two sides of it, kind of.
Yes, and it's just they're consistently getting worse. Like just, we'll talk about the next. We'll get a chat going.
When we all catch up.
Yeah, when we all catch up. But yeah, if y'all haven't seen it, Mr. Robot's off the chain.
Now, I will say, the excitement I have for Mr. Robot and watching the rest of the episodes and then continuing to watch them is the excitement I wish I had for Sense 8.
I don't know, man.
Renewed for season 2.
I still never
get that
finished
it's
the
renewed for
first
season 2.
episode because it just never drew me in.
I feel like that show...
Because of that, I haven't watched it.
I feel like that show went so extreme on so many current topics that are so fresh that everybody's like gravitated to it, even though I personally don't think it's that good of a show. It just has so many shocking topics in it that everybody's like, yeah, this is new and fresh and I love it. And everybody's like, the writing is so good. But it's the Wachowski siblings that did it.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot they did that.
And it's like they forced too many issues into one show and tried to make it coherent, and it's like you literally have to watch 4 or 5 episodes before you're like, oh, I see what's going on.
Like the slap.
Oh, I didn't even bother watching that.
No,
Because how
I think it lasted 3 episodes.
the hell can you make a series out of that? I could see that being an after-school special.
I never watched it because I saw the commercials for it, and I was like, what the hell is this about? And I was like,
not
they
a
made a whole
series.
series about that?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, but it got canceled.
What?
It got canceled quick.
No shit.
My thing is like, okay,
Dumb.
so the dude slapped the kid. Everyone's pissed off. That's your show, folks. Like, it happens. But no, okay. So let's move on. So
Gaming.
Thursday, well, let's go with TV real quick because
Okay.
something big happened. Thursday was Jon Stewart's last Daily Show. For those who didn't watch it, me personally, I didn't know that there was that many people
Oh, yeah.
that's been on his show.
Do you realize how many people are not going to get their news now?
Oh yeah,
Period.
but no, I'm talking about like the people that were his correspondents.
Oh, yeah.
Olivia Munn. Didn't know she was on there. I knew Steve Carell was on there. Knew Stephen Colbert was on there. But there's a lot more, like Louis Black. I didn't know that till later on, but yeah, I didn't know he was one of the guests. So that was real awesome. Bruce Springsteen come out and played a couple songs, and Stephen Colbert made him kind of break down before the first segment. And but it was really awesome. And yeah, I'm with you. I've got some of my news from him, and now I'm going to actually have to watch a legitimate news channel if I want to get some news.
Well, and one of the things you'll read if you read any article about Jon Stewart and his take on the news, so many people prefer to get their news that way, even if it's comical, because they feel like he's the only person that's actually saying how it is. Because Fox has their agenda, CNN has their agenda, ABC, whatever else. They all have their way of telling it. They all have their way of making something priority over something else. Where Jon Stewart takes the comparison of all of it and goes, "You're fucking kidding me, right?" So I get it.
And the same night he did that, I actually had to record the Daily Show because I watched the presidential debate. Now we're not going to go too deep into this, but because like I said, we can geek about anything, but this was just a shit show. I watched it just to see what would happen, and it lived up to its potential. It was fantastic. People attacked Trump, and Trump basically was like, "Hey, fuck you guys, I have money, I don't care what you say."
Okay.
Governor Chris Christie decided to pick a fight with everybody on the panel.
Especially Ron
But
Paul.
the dude, Dr. Carson from Baltimore, has nothing to do with politics. He's just a neurosurgeon and he's wrote like 6 books. He was funny, and he knew what he was actually. He's the only one that like made me believe in politics. Like, he was smart, but he wasn't like a pretentious bastard about it. And he was funny. Like, he was like, all these guys are up here saying what they've done and everything. Well, I've separated twins at birth, and like he went on this whole little other rant, and it made everybody crack up. But yeah, that's
especially about the brain surgery.
Yeah.
He said that he took half a brain out, but if you go to Washington, someone
it's
else
already
has
done.
already beaten him to it.
Yeah. So it was very entertaining. But yeah, it's scary to see what we have in our future up ahead.
Well, and it's interesting to see Trump just speak in general, because he is not being funded by anyone. He doesn't have any goal. Like, he doesn't have to get up there and promote anything. He doesn't have to promote anyone's views other than his own, because he's backing his own. He's backing himself.
That's what he said. He actually made the statement. He was like, "I've given money to a lot of people on this stage."
Yeah.
And of course, someone was like, "You didn't give me any money, but you can if you want to." There was a lot of joking going on. It was funny, but he made the statement of, "I've given money to Hillary. You're right." And I told her to come to a birthday party, and what'd she do? She came to the birthday party. That's what I do. I give money for favors. And it looked like he woke up one day and was like,
I'm good.
"Jeebs, what should I do today? I'm kind of bored.
Why am I going to pay other people to do these things for
I'm
me?
going to run for president
But I'm
and
just
see
get
if
up
I can
there and
piss
be like,
off."
This is what I want to do.
I forgot who he says it to, but some dude tried to talk crap to him, and he's like, "Man, you're just not having a good night."
Was it a Fox reporter?
No, it was one of the other politicians.
Man, I will say this, though. The one dude, the blonde chick, Megan, whatever her name is, she's hot, by the way. But
Kelly.
yeah, Megan Kelly. The other dude, though, the dude with the glasses, he had something against Trump.
They all have something against Trump.
Well, but he went after, like, he
Megyn
went after
Kelly
Trump.
was going after him.
And Trump was like, "I
You
don't
don't,
care."
you don't have something against career politicians.
Dude, I'm telling you, there should be a limit on
Boom.
each position that's held.
Boom! Headshot.
Not only should there be a
14 years
limit
or whatever.
on the length of on their term length, kind of like the president. He can only be there for 8 years. You got people in the Senate in government that have been there
14.
freaking since they
Well, pretty
graduated
much
college.
what Supreme
Yeah,
Court
30
chair
plus
doesn't open
years.
up unless someone dies on
Right.
Supreme Court. Yeah.
No, you need new views in there. Get them out.
Yeah, so, like I said, we're not going to go too deep into politics because we definitely not.
I'm not well read in
Yeah,
that area.
yeah, we're not-
I have opinions, but they're stupid people opinions. I'm a stupid
correct
people when it comes to that. I'm like, government's bad. Whatever.
I don't like it.
Right.
So let's go with gamer news.
Gamer news.
There's
All
a
right.
lot going on.
There
For
is a
one,
lot going on.
I'm going to start it out with the positive side.
Please do.
Is that Destiny's coming out with their the Taken King, and they're coming out with a PlayStation that looks pretty cool. Like, I would buy if I wasn't a PlayStation person, I would buy this PlayStation because it looks great. It's all white, except it's got a map on it, and it's got the seal on the front of it. So it looks really, really neat.
So it's basically what they already had
They just put like a skin on it,
with a sticker.
but it looks cool though.
I'll just buy it.
So that was, you know what? That was about as positive as I could make it before you and Chris just
Before we tear it apart.
fucking
I
massacre.
don't mean to be the angry gamer here. That's Kevin's job.
No. Kevin's just the angry
I'm not-
dude. I think you and
I'm not-
Chris are the.
I'm not mad about it at all. I think it's going to be amazing.
Okay.
You're not mad about Peter Dinklage. That
Oh, Peter Dinklage?
They're taking Dinklage out. I'm talking like they're not even saying here's a new ghost. They're saying fuck
completely
your old
redoing all
ghost.
this stuff.
They're saying, you know that toy you got on the shelf that has Dinklage's voice on it? Fuck that guy.
Hey, at least you'll actually.
I was about to
be able
say
to
it might be worth something.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's either going to be worthless or worth more now.
Do you have one?
Depends
I
on
have
what
two.
happens with Destiny down there.
I'll buy one.
Oh
No.
man, can I see it? I've
Dang
never
it.
seen one.
I'll go get it.
I need more stuff.
Oh.
Y'all seen on Instagram? If y'all follow us on Instagram, I've taken some pictures and seen just to see kind of our geekness. Like I said, we're kind of taking Matt's credit because we feel the same way he does. We just can't afford it because we have actual adulting to do. So there's a bunch of toys and pictures, and Matt just pulled out a replica of a ghost.
I want it.
Let me see.
So bad.
Fascinating. This place is littered with pre-Golden Age artifacts.
Yeah, it is.
Damn right it is.
Okay, so what'd you do on your phone? Because you wait your phone in front of
I
it.
wave my phone in front of it because it has a light sensor that's not real good on picking up motion.
Oh, I thought it might have been like an app. You kind of.
No.
Oh, you could have made it sound a lot cooler than what you just did. Like,
I pulled up the Destiny app and
my
there it
first
is.
thought was like motion.
It's a
But
motion
this
sensor.
guy goes with there's an app on his
But
phone.
it's a real poor motion sensor, so you pretty much have to wave a light in front of it.
He had an app on his phone.
But the thing is, that's Peter
How is it
Dinklage.
It's hilarious to me.
And so if someone walked up to you and
Fraser, man.
said, "Hey, I'm a huge Peter Dinklage fan. I'll buy that from you for $500."
That'd be hard.
You
To
have
I
to.
mean,
You have
$500.
to.
Okay, $500. Sure, I'd get rid of it for
$350.
$500. But see, now you're fucking with me. You just said $500 to get me interested into getting rid of it.
No.
I actually wanted that, but they sold out of them so quickly.
Well, that's the thing.
And
I
they're sold out of the Pit Boy
had
edition.
pre-ordered one on Amazon, right?
That's actually the skin I have on mine, too.
So I pre-ordered one on Amazon, and I had that coming. Well, I went to Best Buy the day it came out, and they just happened to have one of them sitting there on the table, and I was the first person in line. So I was like, yoink! I'm buying another one. I don't care.
Littered with pre-Golden Age artifacts.
Is that all he says, though?
No, he has like 10 different random things.
You have
he
to
says.
charge it.
I mean,
It's a battery. There's a
yeah.
battery in it.
Oh, no, it's just an infinite amount of power like Iron Man.
yeah.
This is not professional motion.
There's no arc reactor in there. Sorry. It
Did you see this?
You got robbed.
It doesn't fly by itself either.
Did you guys
I was
see
just about to throw it too.
the video of how you can actually build your own little...
The little $30
Yeah.
DIY for the arc reactor? Yeah, totally
I
doing
want
that.
Are you gonna cosplay as?
No, I just want the arc
Just want
reactor.
that,
Yeah.
All right, so let's continue on with Destiny. I tried to put a good spin on it.
Well,
but that got
okay.
shot down.
There is a good spin on that. They're going to replace Peter Dinklage with Nolan North. While I may be a Peter Dinklage fan, I'm also a Nolan North fan. I love the Uncharted series. So, good choice on that one. Plus, Sony kind of owns him, so that may be better for a more exclusive content that we get on the PS4 because we play it on the only system you should be playing it on. Not that we're biased. But I have both.
I'm a little biased.
Right, I have it on the PS4 and the Xbox One, and I can tell you, I never have to wait on a group on the PS4. But on the Xbox One, it's like no one's playing it on the Xbox One. Ever.
What was it? Because you're waiting on a group because you know us?
Well, no, I mean, like, even if I go into a public area, like, say there's a public event that comes up, I'm sitting there destroying this thing by myself as a level 10, and doing just fine on the Xbox One. The problem is, there's no one to help, ever! But on the PS4, people are killing shit before you can get in the area. It's just littered with extra people. And the other thing with the new Taken King is they're completely obliterating everything we know about leveling up.
Now hold on before you get excited. Yet calm your tits over there. Is this a good thing or a bad? Are you pissing the old gamers off, the original? Because I think, he said he wouldn't talk, but he did. Santy did bring up a point in a podcast before that this is common. The
WoW group.
The evolving
Just the MMOs in general.
Right.
Yeah, the evolving is something that a lot of MMOers have got accustomed to.
Well, one thing I will say, they have gone off and said that everything we have now is quote unquote year one gear and weapons. So year one stuff, where when we got the last upgrade, or when we got the last expansion, you could use Etheric Light to upgrade your weapons to the current level of 365. you will no longer be able to do that. So your Fatebringer is useless.
Now, does that make you excited? Like you as a
I never
player,
got Fatebringer.
Yeah, since you never got one, or you're like, haha, fuck you guys.
Screw you guys that are sharding 3 or 4 at a time.
Are you still mad about it?
I hate you all.
You're still mad about it.
You know who I'm mad at? I'm mad at Jason Reeves. Because I brought you in to that raid, and you got my weapon. Anyways, go ahead.
Anyways, I'm actually... I would say both.
Both what?
Pisses people off because they spent so much time doing Prison of Elders, Nightfalls, all that stuff just to get gear. But now it's like you said, they're kind of getting rid of it. Now all your legendaries and stuff will become pretty much worthless. All your exotics though can be increased. Now. It's funny that you bring up how Fatebringer is worthless. Now Hawkmoon's technically going to be worthless.
Hawkmoon's an exotic.
Yes, but
you just said exotics can be upgraded.
Yes, but exotic hand cannons are all going to be nerfed. So now hand cannons in general are just going to be crappy.
They've been nerfing everything variously.
They're bringing the ARs back up to what they were originally.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, Zero's regime all day. Anyways,
I mean, what's it matter?
But, for instance, with the whole new system, your level is based on the defense and equipment that you wear. So it can change constantly. Now, let's say I find another piece of armor. From what I read in the Game Informer article, you can actually get rid of that piece of armor and use whatever materials that you got from it to increase the armor that you currently have on. Or change it or whatever. So you can kind of finally customize your character the way you want to play it. Not just, well, this armor's got this and this armor's got that, so I'm going to have both of them on. You can actually make it to where you could probably have all of that in one.
Yeah, but when do we get to the point where I like the way this armor looks, I want to build this to exotic level?
You can. With that, because if you like a certain piece of armor, you'll be able to increase that and just get rid of the stuff that you don't really care for and just make that armor the main armor that you use.
What if I don't like any of the new armor and I want to keep my old shit?
I don't know. I don't really know. They didn't explain it to that far, other than the fact that you'll finally be able to create your character that you want to create.
But not to their specifications.
I mean, I don't know. They only had just a glimpse of the Tamed King, even though it was 4 or 5 pages. Of content, but all that stuff was, new missions, the fact that there's going to be a new raid that's bigger than all the other ones. By the way, speaking of bigger than all the others, Tamed King is going to have more gear and weapons than the game actually had at the beginning.
Now, I did see where they're putting out new algorithms to where you'll get less shit that's worse than what you already have, and you're less likely to get doubles.
Yes.
So, like, if you're walking around with Gallahorn, you're not going to get the reward of another Gallahorn.
But the thing is, they're actually creating a new weapon that's actually the Gallahorn Killer. That's what they're titling it.
I mean, we get that.
It's a fusion rifle heavy slot. It's pretty cool looking.
The point is, they are redoing it to where we're not going to get the same old shit.
Yes. But the whole article pretty much went over. All 8 new Crucible maps, 3 new strikes, 3 or 4. It matters on, I guess, what system. The guy didn't say in the Game Informer 104 question thingy. He just said 3 or 4, depends. And he went over, for instance, the new subclasses that you get. Basically going to be based on a storyline that you have to go through. And once you first start Tamed King, you're going to have new Eris Morn missions, new Vanguard missions. The Gunsmith even has cutscenes now. There's cutscenes that actually make you feel like you're doing stuff as a character. And
well, one thing I thought was interesting was the fact that they said that there's going to be a lot more story here. Mm-hmm. Because with the last 2 expansions, yes, you got story about, Oryx and whatever else, whatever the expansion was about.
The Fallen.
Right, and the Fallen and such. But the thing is, you didn't get more, like with Peter Dinklage's part. There was no more explanation from the Ghost. There was no more about, the Guardians themselves. There was nothing that really progressed the story itself. That was anything more than what you already assumed from the original story.
The only storyline that I'm like really wanting to be there is more talk about the Stranger, because since it is Oryx that you're going against, and you're going to the Dreadnought where he pretty much brings back all the souls that he destroyed. Which, speaking of the Dreadnought, it's going to be technically a whole separate planet, and there's treasure and loot everywhere. But I'm hoping that there's more of a storyline with the Stranger, because in the famous scene where the little light scene, where she says that she's not forged by light, I'm hoping they explain what she is for. Is she forged by darkness? Is she formed by screws and bolts? I don't really know. I want to know. So
we'll find out soon enough.
Was it still going to cost an arm and a leg?
They've actually dropped it down to $40.
But they've changed it though, because they said if you don't want to pay all that extra, you can get it for $20. But someone told me in one of the fire teams that I played with the other night that but you won't get the raid and all kinds of stuff. In order to get the raid, you still have to pay like $80. I don't remember.
No, they were saying straight up that you could buy the $40 expansion period.
Yeah,
and download it.
I think you can, if you're, like, for instance, me, I had the Digital Guardian Edition, so I think I don't have to pay.
No, like, that's actually what they've come out and said. They've said you can just pay $40 and download the expansion.
I thought I saw $20 on something, though.
No, they said you could pay $20 for the extra shit that you get with the special edition, like the emojis and whatever the fuck the extra things are.
Did we answer the question about the light levels? Did you go because they're getting rid of light levels, which means that no longer is the armor going to be what determines your level, right?
Yeah, I answered that it's based on the gear that you have.
Yeah, but so my question is, let's say I don't have any of my good gear on any of my characters, and it's all in my vault. But if I put on all my good stuff, I'm a level 33. When this expansion starts, are they just going to look at all my inventory and be like, this dude can be a level 33 if he wants, boom, that's his level? Or is it going to be based off of what my character currently is?
You know what I think they're doing that from? I think they're doing that from, like, for instance, one of the things you did where you had 2 hunters and you swapped the gear between them to level them quicker. I think that's something they're trying to prevent. They're trying to encourage you having... You're right. They're trying to encourage you having 3 leveled characters as opposed to 2 level characters and really high level gear.
Yeah, because now it's not... Your level's not based on what you're wearing anymore. It's based on your character total. But all your stats will be the same. They just increase over time. Right. For instance, like, let's say my chest piece has a certain amount of defense. I think that's what they mean by how you increase whatever it is. You won't get the perks, but let's say I destroyed this piece of armor or whatever material I have. If I put it towards the armor I'm wearing, it will increase its defense. And so my character will develop.
We'll see how it comes out. It's all speculation till then.
Yeah. I'm super pumped for it.
Well, on that note.
All right, well, is there anything else that we should possibly bring up?
I think we're good for today.
Think we're good? Good deal. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. Y'all know the spiel. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, Podbean.
Bush League Geek.
Bush League Geek.
We're out.
To infinity and beyond.